Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series, America Edition. I'm Nathanius, joined by Cole Terran, and it's time for a good old Twitch chat showdown. Terran versus Protoss. What could possibly make people watching StarCraft on Twitch more angry?
Absolutely nothing. You know, I think the only other thing would be Protoss versus Protoss, because we're guaranteed to have a Protoss win.
No, there is something special about watching a Protoss rip a Terran to pieces that just draws out the worst in humanity.
Or the best. You know, it scratches that itch for me. I don't know. It's very satisfying. It's going to be a fun one here.
I like it. I'm glad we have someone to
Vindicta.
defend. I'm glad we have someone to defend Protoss. You have a good sense of humor. I know you have a good sense of humor because I still think half the complaints I got yesterday were that no one was standing up for the Protoss players. I'm like, pay attention. Pay attention, guys.
I know. I loved everybody saying that's like, man, these casters are also Terran biased. It's like, all right, I will
fun.
step in. Yeah, you know, it's all in good fun here.
As the great Austin Danger Powers once said, "Oh, behave, baby."
Oh, I love it. Up here in the top left-hand side, also loving it from Sidestorm Gaming. He's Raze. Jay Whipple. That's a fun name.
And Whipple with it. In the bottom right, we have the blue Terran player. He is Vindicta.
Aye.
Miguel Marmoleo.
Very good. Yeah, good stuff from Vindicta. Like the nukes.
That's kind of his bag, baby. And I'm expecting him to do it probably at some point.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
If this game doesn't end early.
Yeah, if it gets to the point in the game where he is able to afford a Ghost Academy without dying because of it, yeah, no, I would love to see it. Vindicta been having a lot of good results online recently. Been seeing him come up more and more. Been you know, kind of jockeying to be one of the next up and coming you know, Terran players here in NA. You know, joining the likes of Future, Cuddle Bear, Epic, yeah. You know, all been having a great year so far. Alpha X team in general been having a lot of good players. Estrella coming up this year, making their way through those qualifiers and finding their way to the big stage before the big stage here, right? Wanting to make their way to WCS Fall, ideally. Some of them going, regardless, going to try and fight their way through the open bracket.
Well, to be perfectly honest, even if you don't qualify, it's the big WCS event that we have in America this year. It's the only one like that, so that's a big one. But also Montreal, if you guys never been, it's an amazing city.
That's what I've heard.
The politeness of Canadians and some French culture, and it's fantastic, right?
Right.
You basically get French without the, you know, we don't need to go
No.
into it,
What exactly are you avoiding about
the wonderful, wonderful, kind things that people will say about Americans in France all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Known for their lack of bluntness, right?
They're too kind. I know that because the first time I went, we had WCS Montreal a few years back, and I landed very late, and I was with Roddy and Todd. Roddy may not have been there. I just kind of remember him always being with me at every event.
Right.
And Todd's just like, I cannot understand this guy's French accent. It doesn't make any sense. He's not even speaking real French. I'm like, that's exactly what I'd expect a French guy to say. Thank you, Todd. That's how I know you're French and they're French Canadian, because this guy was also extremely polite and got us to the hotel without too long of a wait. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he didn't even get mad that we were waiting for someone's bags. But
what a nice guy.
Montreal is an awesome place. Highly suggest checking it out, preferably for StarCraft, because that's kind of what we're doing here.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit involved in the StarCraft scene. Ooh.
Wow, that's...
Not
it
ideal.
feels cool to throw the grenade out whenever you can, but he probably could have saved the Reaper for a follow-up scout.
Yeah, because if he doesn't throw that, it stops him. It stops you for a second, right? When you that casting animation.
You do have to stop to throw the grenade. Yes. Tragically, there's no, like, you can't just, like, chuck it behind your shoulder while you're running.
Yeah, why have we not trained our Reapers to trick shot? What's the deal with that?
I don't know, honestly.
Like, we need to get these guys playing, like, the Tony Hawk games.
What if Ghosts, when they use steady targeting, what if during that 1.5 second that they have to wind up, what if they just spun?
Dude,
What if there was a ghost skin that when it used it just spun in a for half a second? Because
that'd be so good.
They can't move anyway.
Right.
Why not have
They're
them
already
spin?
standing there. Why not have them be entertaining?
I would pay $24.99 for that skin.
Easily.
Just so that my ghost would 360 every snipe.
100%. And like if it got the final hit, like could it hit a dab?
Yeah, exactly. or an air horn sound plays if it kills the unit.
A bunch of hit markers show up on screen. Oh yes.
Playing right into my fantasies here. They're gonna realize hiring you was a bad idea because I've been enabled now. It's fantastic. Usually I just get smacked upside the head, but we've got
Speaking
a
of
mind
smacking
drop.
upside the head, yeah, mind drop coming up here.
Blink's almost done though. There are stalkers in the main base. 2 is not enough.
This is the metaphorical La Chancla coming out from Vindicta, wanting to punish Raze for his insolence, but not going to fight it just yet.
What did you just say?
La Chancla is the sandal, you know. Whenever Hispanic mother, my Hispanic mother, will throw the sandal at people.
Oh goodness.
This drop is
okay.
Can be referred to as La Chancla.
I mean, if a shoe getting thrown at you is the same as a mine exploding killing all of your probes, I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, it's a rough life, you know, but made it through it.
Well, that's how you had the toughness to play StarCraft. So.
Right, and the fortitude to play Protoss and then get it emblazoned on my skin.
Let's not go too far. It's a great debate.
Shots.
Right?
Yeah,
all eyes are on the medevac, so the Liberator is able to roll up and get 4 probe kills. And sometimes it's not the mine drop that lands in your base that does damage. Sometimes it's the mine drop in your head that you're scared of landing and doing damage that hurts you.
Yes, the mine drop within, as it were.
Yep. And because that medevac is just sitting there. But think about what Vindicta's doing. He has the Protoss player. He knows where pretty much all the units are, because the Liberator's got a few stalkers of its own. And then this medevac can, I think, I'm just going to double check. He can see all 6 stalkers in a ring around it. So he scans the main and he says, okay, you got some gateways, robo-bait. It's good to know that you're going straight to Colossus or Disruptors rather than Storm. And he's pretty safe to move some of his units out.
Yeah, this is a really great situation for Vindicta, you know, finding that damage inflicted with the Liberator, like we were saying. Securing his 3rd base now, already was able to morph it into the orbital, so he built up the extra energy for those mules, kickstarting that 3rd nice and early here. And yeah, the 2nd robo did get added on just after that scan. 4 Raze on the other side, so you're going to have double Colossus or Disruptor production available.
You believe that Observer can almost see all the way to the end of the ramp when it was in that siege mode? Okay, he pulled it back a little bit. He's got.
Wow, what an excellent asset to the Protoss force, I must say. Truly incredible.
I agree.
This is
great tool. 2 Colossi on the way, and probably extended thermal lance. I'll be surprised if he goes for the no lance build, but we have seen it. We have seen it in WCS this week.
Yes, very effective at removing him from that game. As the Widow Mines do get 8 kills there, 10 total. Actually, his Liberator moves back in, I think.
Yeah. So I think that was man, that Liberator has gotten work. 8 kills total on it.
Ooh. And
this is where your Sim City can work against you, because it's gonna be a little bit awkward to get around there as the army's working the front too.
It does have blink, and actually blinked the wrong way. That Sim City. Yeah. Coming in clutch here for the side of Vindicta, as he is taking advantage of it very nicely.
Good baiting here on the Widow Mines.
Yeah, really well done. Still no thermal lances, by the way.
It's going to be hard to use the Colossi without range.
Yeah.
Unless it's bait. Like you build 2 Colossi because you want to really convince the Terran player, yes, I'm seriously building more than 1. But then you don't have range, and then you realize that that's actually 12 supply. That's not that great anymore. We'll see if it ends up hurting him.
Yeah, see if he ends up getting punished, as the Marauders will be looking to abuse that same range, as you informed me of yesterday.
Yep.
So we'll see what we'll be able to get done here. Is Viking count starting to climb? The +1 ship weapons as well. How much of an effect does that make on the amount of Vikings it takes to volley a Colossus? Is it significant?
Honestly, not really. It's probably better for the Liberators whenever I think about the attack upgrades. It might be 1 or 2 less volleys, but the thing about the Colossus is it has so much health that, and Vikings have such little health, that you kind of always need to have, like, I think it makes you need 1 or 2 less to one-shot a Colossus, but that usually ends up being around like that You're looking towards like 11 or 12 Vikings anyway. But for Liberators, it's really big, because +2 Liberators is, are what you need to start two-shotting those Stalkers.
Great multi-farm by Vindicta right now, by the way. Better response by Raze, had his Stalkers link back up there, able to shut down that drop in the main. Great work, awesome sauce. Observing today, checking out on Twitter and Twitch.
He starts 2 more Colossi.
Yeah, and
still no thermal lance.
Is this the new Protoss meta? Is this the you know, remove, like, did we all get lobotomized a little bit before we headed into this battle? Like, we just forgot how to do this upgrade?
Some would say that happened when you picked Protoss, but I'm gonna say it's just a normal mistake. The Protoss player is serving these up for me. This is so unusual.
Yeah, a fresh perspective on Protoss wine, because I'm not actually whining. I like Protoss. Think they're fun.
I would hope so, considering that you have their logo burned into your arm permanently.
Yes.
Stargate.
It's really awkward when I switch to Zerg next month, huh? couples photon cannons getting out on as well, helping to deal with those defenses.
Welcome to Nuke Watch 16. I'm your host, Nathaniel Fabricant. I just want to let you know, coming up, probably in our 10-day forecast, there's going to be some hellfire raining down on unsuspecting probes. We'll see if the Protoss player has their eyes open. May not be able to kill that ghost without thermal lance. He's got 4 Colossi. You're not faking anybody out anymore.
Yeah, no, this is, you're not fooling anybody, Raze. We see through your tricks, the lies of the Jedi. As the Vikings coming in now, get a good first volley off. Where's the range? It's not there. Running up into this bio, going to be taking quite a bit of hits. Both Colossi go down, 2 more left. Disruptor not connecting. Stalkers are enough here. Going to be pushing through this, but losing so much for it. All those Colossi going down, except for the one.
Is thermal lance, did they remove it from the game? Do Colossi just have 9 range all the time? Did I miss a patch? I'm just...
Yeah, maybe so. Or maybe like the laser rods themselves got a little bent on delivery here, so they just can't quite be pointed as far.
So easily. That Disruptor really is like the ace card here.
Man.
Nope.
Vindicta must be really thankful right now. That's a very nice pick off to be able to get. That usually is impossible, right? For that Bioforce, not able to find... Yeah. Such an easy cleanup of 4 Colossus. And he's replacing the Colossus too! Get the Lances! Where are they? 3-3 on the way for Vindicta for this bio. Fusion Core on the way as well.
Now the real problem is that he didn't build a nuke out of that Ghost Academy.
That is a problem.
He is building the first 3 ghosts solo.
How much does a nuke cost to build?
100 minerals and 100 gas.
All right, no
just enough to
whatsoever.
ruin your macro and your bank if you're in a long game.
Yes.
But most Terran players don't seem to care about throwing them away. As long as you get 1, then it's premium content for your Twitch or, you know,
indeed,
your highlight reel.
And it's instant Nation Wars votes as well.
That's true. Is Vindicta running?
I don't think so. Or no,
probably
I don't think
not.
so. I don't think so.
No. Go vote for Future and M-Canning.
Yep.
I'm campaigning for those guys. That's
absolutely.
Right.
Those two.
I'm going to be a dirty abuser of my power and being on WCS and tell you to go vote for StarCraft players to compete in tournament, because it's going to be an awesome tournament.
It's going to be so sick. Of course, also vote for your country as well. Only takes, I think it was, what, 3 Grandmaster players had to sign up for their country, for your country to get entered. So
there's a lot of countries playing. NationWars.tv. It is
super cool.
It's going to be cool. You're probably going to, if you forget about it now, don't worry. It'll probably be on the launcher at the end of the year whenever it ends up happening. You guys will get to watch it, but it's always really fun. Watching the StarCraft community come together is great.
Oh, it's so cool.
The only thing greater is playing Terran and seeing a Protoss not research thermal lance and lose 5 Colossi in a game.
Which is more satisfying, seeing that or landing a nuke on Broodlords like we saw from Vindicta? Which is more satisfying as a Terran player?
Seeing the Protoss player make a mistake like that, unless you lose, then you feel really bad. You're like, oh my god, he beat me without researching range and he had multiple Colossi. What? I can't believe I've done this.
Great EMP there on the front, taking down a lot of these shields. Now that bio pushing forward. Archon gonna get taken out here, having to run away. Thermal Lances would be very helpful in helping him kite here. Disruption
Yes,
Nova's
it would.
available.
Thermal Lance would be really good right about now.
Another EMP goes out, gets rid of that Guardian Shield as does die. Now the Colossus getting chased down, no range, no legs to stand on as they get blown to bits. Liberator's getting set up here. Disruption Nova
Oh my God, dude,
goes wide.
killing everything. He's got the fleet bake in finishing, but it's already too late.
Yeah, no salvation here for Raze as Vindicta comes forward. He is
He's guarding 2 more Colossi.
It's a monument to his sins, Nate. You know, it's a reminder
Is he
of
like,
what could have been.
Is he a masochist? Is he like, I've made a mistake, I deserve to atone?
He's just gonna keep building them without range. It's like, imagine how good you could be.
Maybe he's like one of those guys that just like has this weird like book he's written about why range is actually bad for Colossi, and he's kind of just got this whole philosophy around never getting it, and we just don't know.
Yeah,
It could be his MO.
It could be like this, or maybe it's like him trying to send a message, like, you know, I shouldn't have to get range to win, but you do. You do absolutely need it for your Colossus to be effective.
I just keep checking the upgrade tab. It's not there.
Yeah, no, it is not going to happen in this game.
He's got ranged liberators locking him into his base now, and he can't afford to build Tempests.
Yeah.
So I think I make a joke about putting a fork in it because it's done or something now.
Yeah, it is. He is a well-done steak at this point.
The only thing that Vindicta's missing is energy on his medevacs, but that's only because he's been attacking the entire game. So
yeah.
I can't blame him for using his units.
Yeah, you know, he is. He's just been constantly aggressive here, been right in Raze's face, and you know, granted, a little confused as to how he's losing health when the Colossi can't reach him. You know, so far away, but. No, he's been doing a phenomenal job so far.
If he starts Thermal Lance like out of nowhere, I'm just gonna start laughing now. I'm sorry, Raze.
What if he starts it now as he has no Colossi remaining?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Like the shameful admittance.
He's lost 8 Colossi this game, by the way, and not a single one of them had range. Not a single one was able to be effective. It's a rough situation for Raze. It happens, you know, joking about it, but like it is.
Liberators. He's like, I'm gonna start 1 Tempest. This will be it. This will save me.
This is the salvation he's been looking for as he goes deep into the battlefield, and that is
I know I'm supposed to try to be impartial, but he forgot the most important upgrade for the army he was using.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, we are obviously joking around, and obviously, you know, mistakes happen. We're all human. But at the end of the day, like
over the course of a 16-minute game, after building 8 Colossi, at no point did he, during a fight, be like, I think I shouldn't have to be in range of his units to attack them.
It's like, don't these guys usually stand behind my army when they fight? Like, aren't they? They feel like they're really far forward today. Something's really going on. It must be a little more zoomed in than usual.
Now I'm just imagining a version of like War of the Worlds where I watched that movie and like Tom Cruise is freaking out because the thing's about to laser him, but it actually can't because it's too far. Like,
shoots the gun in front of him.
They forgot Thermal Lance in the movie, and everyone's just standing there like, oh, it's only shooting like under its feet. Like, well, this isn't terrifying at all anymore. I don't know.
Everybody just feels bad for it. It's like, oh, poor guy. Look at him.
Oh, we should probably help him out because they might get sick or something, you know? Like, oh, God, things so sad.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, it is, yeah, no, that's really it. You have to get that upgrade. It's you have to get that
There's
upgrade.
no further analysis. He took bases, he had forges, he tried to do harass, he just didn't.
Yeah, like if he has range, I honestly think that game is fairly doable. You know, his fights become a little bit more.
Literally every fight's completely different. Like, I'm not going to say that he's guaranteed to win.
Yeah.
But it's
like,
just.
And to Vindicta's credit as well, did a great job of being active with his bio, you know, of punishing the mistakes, constant harassment. Absolutely. And then the multi-pronged drops, unpowering the double robo as well. Granted, already didn't have range at that point, but, you know, further delaying the added on AoE. Great work by Vindicta. Raze this time looking to secure the crucial upgrades and secure himself a win in this series as he's on the brink of elimination now.
Yes, it's
one map away.
Match. So going into King's Cove for our second map of this best of 3. Vindicta looked pretty good though. All things said and done. I mean, towards the end, the harass got him a little, but I think he had ranged liberators in his opponent's natural. He probably wasn't worried about losing anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Only M. Canning could win the game with 2 DTs when put in a position like that, and, well, yeah, he doesn't have to play against M. Canning today, thank God.
Yep. M. Canning no longer with us in this tournament.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is, I heard that he's actually going to, I think he's going to, like, taking over some, like, he's, like, going and saving, like, a whole bus of kittens.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I heard about that.
There was a fissure in the ground. He's literally got, like, superhero duty. He's like, well, if I have to play in the round of 8, round of 16, then I'm...
That's why he lost, because he knew that he had those obligations.
Yeah, but you can see into the future. So on the 24th, when we do the Americas finals, he's actually going to go save a ton of children.
So,
yeah,
really good guy. You know,
Stand
prioritizing other, you know, a bus full of kittens' life over his own career.
Yeah, we gotta
admirable.
Stop. We gotta ask people why they transport kittens in giant buses. But
anyway,
anyway,
like no seatbelts on those things. Really unsafe.
Discussion for another time, perhaps. As the probe scout comes in for Raze. And he's going to see the barracks is at home, which is always nice to know, because now he can just build his nexus on the low ground. He does not have to rush the cyber core. He's not in a situation where he will be pressed to get his tech. And Vindicta, conversely, has his SCV check around the north bit from his natural, looking for a proxy gateway. There is none, so we get to have ourselves a nice, normal Terran versus Protoss.
Yeah, nice and chill here to start. Give
Spray.
These guys,
this is where you spray.
You have to
spray with the probe.
Spray. You have the charge. What a wasted opportunity, really. Missing out on these mind games.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Future and Estrella are the only ones that get it. You know?
I really do think so.
Like, especially the foresight to switch the sprays in the, like, between series. Ugh.
Yeah.
So good.
It's just 3,000 IQ.
Yeah, really, like, no other players like him.
Yep.
Incredible. Reaper making his way through the center of the map here as the factory comes up behind it, giving these guys lots of time to reflect on what their plans are here, on whether or not they're going to get upgrades or not.
Hey, Stargate. How about that?
Ooh. How about that?
I feel like we don't see as much Stargate versus Terran these days.
Yeah.
Someone will very angrily message me that it happened once at the ROG tournament now. But
yes.
He saw it with the Reaper, right? Pretty sure.
I'm almost positive, yeah. And, you know, we saw Phoenix Colossus play yesterday, I believe.
We saw it this week, yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen it a couple times, but you were absolutely right. Yeah, definitely not as common these days. And yeah, I like it from Raze. Switched it up. Not gonna have any upgrades he has to get.
He doesn't have to go Phoenix Colossus, of course. This could just be like, I'm gonna get an Oracle or 2, try to put on pressure, and then maybe build a Phoenix or 2 just to stop a medevac from getting in. Since the ability to lift up the mine as it's burrowing is invaluable, since losing probes to explosions, well, it's not something that Protoss players exactly want to happen.
Right. No, definitely need to duck the sandal. Run away from that. A book, very nice defense. As the mule's getting called down here.
Do you use a large book? Because it can be a bit unwieldy, or do you use a small book because you
if you
move it to block faster?
You can't use too big a book, otherwise you get a bigger shoe. Dangerous. It's an arms race, man. It's brutal. Reaper goes down. Nice grab by Raze.
Oh, man.
Oracle making his way in here, see what he'll be able to get done. Might be able to stall that bunker. That's kind of nice. Be a thorn in Vindicta's side.
Oh, if I messed up, my dad just hid my Game Boy on me. That's... The Viking is going to push away the Oracle, though.
Yeah.
Viking opening against Protoss is a funny thing because there's... Like, it's not really a whole lot you're going to do with it, right? Mm-hmm. But if you turn this into any sort of early push or attack, landed Vikings are awesome.
They do so much.
They dunk on stalkers. If they're not being focus fired and you have, like, Marines or something in front, they pepper in a lot to Immortals as well.
And it's a psychological value of it as well. You know, if your opponent lands 6 Vikings in front of you, you're like, oh, my God. Yeah, like, it is...
Well, people still
shakes you to your core.
Yeah, you still have like the overconfidence, because normally landing Vikings was another way of saying GG in the previous iterations of StarCraft 2. But now landing Vikings is it's changed from I'm in danger to you're in danger.
Yes, it is. You know, from you go from laughing at them to crying at for yourself as they gun your stalkers down.
Landed Vikings are really sick. So building one early on, and you know, jokes aside, building one early on to deflect the Oracle is nice because it has value in the mid game if you need to land it.
Right.
I don't expect him to hold on to it forever, but I take everything back because we've got more factories starting. This is not going to be the Massa-esque mag field rush into something else. Vindicta is going to play mech.
He sure is. Yeah, and I really like this style from him. Have seen it from him before in some online tournament. I don't quite recall, but it's very nice. The Magfield Accelerator does such a great job at allowing these Cyclones to be very effective in the in these next few minutes of the game. Can very easily catch the Protoss off guard, especially if they try and skip out on the Immortal count, if they skip out on buffer units for those Stalkers and don't respect that damage output.
You know what? There's a popular comment that people like to make where they say just play like Maru or something to Terran players, and in Korea, it's become a thing where if your opponent goes for a Stargate opening, those are the best windows to go for mech because you're not worried about a blink all-in just killing you, which is the primary weakness of mech.
Right.
If you want to play any sort of economic opener and go into tanks, you pretty much always die to like an early Robo or Gate or a Twilight. And of course, there are ways around that, but playing versus Stargate is the easiest because usually the follow-up is going to be charge lots. So if you don't die to a charge lot attack, then Oracles and Phoenix shouldn't kill you.
Right. Should be you're gonna have those tools to respond to it, and as well as having a little bit more time to get yourself set up in these better positions. The armory is coming up on the back side of this. It'll allow for those Hellbats as Infernal Pre-Igniter comes up as well.
Now, I want to see with the armory, he did get the armory already. I want to see Drilling Claws immediately.
Yes.
I like that the early reactored Barracks Marines are going to be put into bunkers. But this is really difficult because mech, once like pre-150, 160 supply, it sucks. It's not good in straight up fights. So, like, he has a tank and some Cyclones, but the Oracles are going to come in here to fight. The bunkers are really the ace because they are going to soak so hard to buy time. But once those Zealots get on top of your tanks, and
that's a huge warp in.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, man, coming up here, trying to get on top of that tank. The SCV is going to try and get involved with this nice tank on the high ground. Going to help a lot with this, but losing so many SCVs with this as well. Down to below 50, 13 going down. The Archon doing tons of splash here.
As long as that Prism is alive, this is not over.
Man.
He needs to get a lock-on the Prism. He is not going to be able to do that, so...
Oh, man, more Warpins coming in.
Warp Prism in the main base equals death for mech.
Absolutely.
He does turn some Hellbats in, and probably the best choke point you could possibly get. Prism is still alive,
Oh, my goodness, I cannot believe that. The Viking desperately trying to hunt it down, needed one more shot to do it.
You can't pull SCVs against this, because there's an Archon, and it will kill everything. Oh, tries to repair the mine, but... No. Charge Zealots bit for bit, wreck everything, including Hellbats, even like 1v1. Unless you get into a very tight choke, just keep warping in Zealots against this. Like,
and eventually it will break.
Vindicta's dead. His third's been unseated. His natural's been unseated. Protoss is going up to 4 bases. And even if he does get out, by the time he reestablishes and rebuilds from 35 SCVs, he has... probably carriers coming out if he wants. If he wants to start a fleet beacon right now, he could. And his ability to warp in alone, like this Prism.
Oh, man. Coming in again.
8 Zealots. Like, there you go. 16 supply of Zealots. There's where the mines. The mines are really good. That's why Drilling Claws is important. Because this should have been worse. It's still terrible.
Yeah, it's still a very tough spot.
He's up against a 76 worker Protoss. He's ahead in army supply, but that's literally because Raze has warped every army unit he could make into his opponent's base.
Yeah, he is far and away ahead in this game. Look at that income graph. 3,000 in favor of him right now.
I'm going to make all these High Templar in your base, and I'm just going to keep killing you.
Yeah, literally, he's like, watch your chances of this game go from 0 to -0.
This is the only reason why I like the bunkers, but I don't like them up front, because they have, for the cost, they have like they just have really low hit points.
Yeah.
So I like blocking up front with like depots, but the bunkers behind them, because your walls need to have walls. You know what I mean?
Like,
your walls need to have walls.
So, like, you want to see the bunkers be like nestled
Behind
in,
a
so that way,
depot, or nestled in so that the surface area.
The surface area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that definitely might have even allowed him to hold. He was very close to being able to do that.
So, like, there's some silver linings here, because Drilling Claw Widow Mines are, generally speaking, you don't have crazy practice against them. But Zealots, the apex predator of a Terran player going mech, are very susceptible to this. However, I'm just going to be real with you. There's nothing you can build out of a factory that is good versus carriers. And once he gets up to like 6 of them, he should be able to just A-move him, assuming that he mixes in other units.
Yep.
Because the best answer for mech is a very late. Like in a normal game where you haven't lost all of your workers and had both of your bases unseated, you scout that they're making a transition into like a fleet beacon, and during that time you like move up into battle cruisers, or you push, really, because carriers are amazing versus Vikings, they are amazing versus Cyclones, and Thors can target them down, but Thors are actually really bad at killing interceptors. It takes it takes several volleys to kill an interceptor for a Thor.
Oh wow.
And Thor's AoE is actually not that big. So like Liberators are even better for trying to kill interceptors. But my point is, it's not from the factory. It's going to be Starport. And if you were to switch all your production to Thors right now, then you just A-move the Zealots with the carriers, and they can only shoot one of them. So,
yeah, and with how limited Vindicta's economy is, he's really stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
Yeah. I'm only telling you all of this because the game isn't over, and I have to keep speaking for my job.
Yeah, you know, just because it's over doesn't mean it's really over.
He took a ton of damage, and everything is in place for Vindicta to die to carriers.
Yeah, it's a situation here where Raze is just going to wait until he has the best chance of winning, which is, in this case, just getting up that carrier count. And, hey, cleaning this up as it pushes across would be a great way to accelerate that process.
Thing is, the Cyclones have such little health that if those mine shots get dragged by the interceptors over those units, then they'll still kill them anyway. And there you have it. He's got an observer, so the mines are dead. And I think he's just going to push and win here.
Yeah, 105 armies fight to 62 as Warp Prism in
There's
position.
no answer to the carriers. There's nothing that can deal with it. Thor's, the leash range for the carrier is like 12 or 13. So the carrier can actually shoot while out of the range of a Thor anyway. But like I said, like, it's even a joke to talk about it. He hasn't even started one. Like, it wouldn't do anything. He's going to die now. Yeah,
this is a very tough hold for Vindicta. Some would say impossible, and I'd have to agree with them. As the interceptor's now going to start getting involved. He's going to do what he can. The Widow Mine's trying to find positioning, and
want to lock on, you have to get within 7 range. The carrier has 13 range once those interceptors are out. GG. So let's go to game number 3.
Yeah, well done there.
I wasn't going to fake hype that one. Sorry, guys. It was super over after that first attack.
Yeah, no, Vindicta was in absolutely dominant position and did a great job of capitalizing on it. Raze was, pardon me.
Not a bad idea. Buy Vindicta to wall, because if you can hold in that scenario, then you're great. Then you have drilling claws. You can move out and take a little bit of the map. The thing is, you don't want to rebuild your tanks, because tanks are bad. You cannot move out with tanks versus Protoss unless you are maxed.
Yes.
And he was, we were talking about securing a 3rd base, right? So that wasn't even remotely close to being in the realm of possibilities. You want to have Cyclones, and you want to have mines, and maybe some Hellions, because you can move those units around, plant the mines here and there.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop down mules because you lost all your workers, so you can scan and kill observers. And you take map control with the Widow Mines. You try to pick off bases with the lock-on. You can YOLO some Hellions into a mineral line. And he was still doing that despite the fact that he took so many losses.
Yeah, which is a testament to his skill as well and to his knowledge of that. But yeah, as you said, took such a poor engagement there and found himself you know, already like 3 feet under, and then, you know, Raze just kept on digging that grave for him and put him in there. Well
He
done.
fought very hard, but in that situation, like, charge zealots are freaking amazing versus every mech unit. They really are.
Especially as those armor upgrades get better and better. I can only imagine
the drilling claws mines are the best thing for dealing with gateway units because in a defensive situation like that, it's very hard to bring an observer forward, and you have maybe a Viking or a few Vikings, or the Cyclones can defend.
Right.
But in that type of situation where they can just keep warping in 8 charge lots, the time it takes for them to build those charge zealots, you can build maybe 2 Hellions and almost a tank.
Yeah,
You can't get a whole tank. Maybe almost a tank, almost a Cyclone.
You get like the treads, but not the gun.
Yeah. And those 8 zealots will rip through your 2 tanks and 3 Hellions
every
very
time.
easily.
Yeah, we saw it, you know, even when he cleaned up the main army, Raze just having that warp prism still in the main. And yeah, made that a very miserable experience for Vindicta's workers and production, as now we are here for the deciding match of this elimination map in Group C.
And this is, if he was going to want to do a mech, this is the best map, I think, for it, because you don't have to worry at all about Blink Stalkers. Like, they're still obviously good units, and you can still do a lot of micro, but this is the one map where you can safely say that there's a very, 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 very low chance a bunch of Stalkers are inside of your main while you're taking your natural or trying to move out to take a third.
Right.
So you worry about the Prism, but I would have also said that King's Cove is a great mech map because you can focus everything into that one point. Like, he couldn't flank him when he did the push. He had to just go up that one ramp, and he still killed him.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. It just, yeah, no, this will be a much nicer map for him to go for that style. Might be a little gun shy of it after you know, having such a.
You should play bio, I think. I like to play mech because it's fun and it's different, and I'm like an entertainer. Like, me winning doesn't really matter. Right. But I do fun random stuff.
Doesn't usually. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but that's, you know.
Right.
That's why I play the way that I play. But I don't think at a competitive level, it's reliable at all.
Yeah.
I honestly thought if they had gone through with the charge nerf, then it would be. And even the Prism nerf alone will be a huge buff for mech because Prism is the apex predator of mech.
Yeah.
Prism with charge zealot warping is the #1 way that people who try to play mech die.
Absolutely. And do you think that if it was instead of taking all the initial damage away, if it was like 4 instead of 8 for that charge, you think that would make a big enough difference to matter?
I'm all about 2% changes, so I think it would have been nice, but we'll see. I think the Prism change is going to be pretty nice for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and you know, at worst, it'll open up a little bit of experimentation as people start to get used to it.
You'll be able to do tech-based openers in TVP a bit more easily.
Yeah.
The transition back into bio will be easier.
Yeah, it's gonna be very nice to see. That's
my way of saying I'm gonna keep battlecruiser rushing every TVP, but I will switch into bio after because I won't actually be killable.
Yeah,
so that'll be nice.
Yeah, that'll be a nice change.
Then I'll die because I can't micro.
Happens.
So the Reaper's gonna come in and scout. It is not a Reaper map, but you can commit it to check the main. He decides he won't. But I feel like if you're gonna build the Reaper, honestly, on this map, you should suicide it. You should get it in and see the tech. Maybe he's worried that the tech is proxied. I don't know. But once that Stalker is out with the Adept up front, you don't get in. You don't get to scout.
Yeah,
so
and then
you have
there's really no use for this Reaper. It's not like it's going to be able to slide in later, you know, the army. Unless you wait until 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, Raze, I think Raze is a pretty cool guy. He's got his DMs turned off. That Reaper's never sliding in.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh. Pog EX.
Very nice. Okay.
Well, I love that. All right.
This is great.
I don't know where the Stalker is, but the Reaper is there, and it should not be able to spot the tech.
Yeah.
It does not.
Doesn't see anything. The evil eye heading across.
That's what I mean, though, is he would have seen the Robo if he had committed the first time. But one Adept and one Stalker are enough to together stop it. Now, the second Stalker would obviously be impossible. But A Drilling Claws mine drop. And I love this. This is the #1 most recommended build order suggestion to me from Rotterdam.
Ah.
Because he's also a memer, and he likes doing some fun shenaniganery.
And this
Except he's very good at it.
Right.
But
and it's yeah, it's going to be very cool here. So seeding it, researching.
he'll probably think it's Magfield, because that's what makes sense.
And especially since it is a cyclone that is actually coming out from it right now.
And he won't see an armory, even if he checks the entirety of the main base.
This is very, very nice. Playing mind games here by Vindicta.
So this tells me he might go into mech. Because, honestly, Drilling Claw Mines I really like with Bio.
Yeah.
Since the meta's shifted a bit back towards robo play, it's not amazing, but
yeah,
having random mines out on the map, I think, is still one of the strongest things that any Terran can do in any matchup, even in TvT.
Ooh, that drop was spotted getting loaded up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the thing
I
is,
you might think it's a mine drop, but if he doesn't see the little glow from Drilling Claws, if he's not actively looking at it,
right,
then
yeah, they burrow. I mean, what's the burrow speed on them after that upgrade finishes?
It's instant.
Instant.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is that's brutal. It is so hard. You know, in the blink of an eye, this entire mineral line, it can go sayonara. We'll see if Raze will be ready for it. He is adding on cannons. 3 getting added on in those mineral lines, which will help.
And that's the thing is, even a cannon and the observer in those units are not enough. Like, the mines will be able to burrow. He should be able to kill 1. I don't think he kills the second one, but maybe he kills 1 before it shoots. But if he drops 3 mines, 2 of them should be, like, guaranteed to go off. Really, unless he, like, retargets it more than once, in which case, then he might delay his own shot long enough for them to kill it. But
yeah,
I do like this strategy a ton. He's going to go into bio out of it.
Yeah, this is super cool. I'm loving this from Vindicta. Like you said, the Widow Mines can be so nice to complement this bio force, give you a nice tools to control the battlefield as this drop is poised.
So there's a Warp Prism. It looks like he wants to do a Zealot drop in the main here.
Indeed. Potentially could be Archon drop too.
How does
this finish that? That'd be weird.
Billy, what are you doing here?
Oh man.
I took the wrong turn at Albuquerque. And now you're dead. God, wow.
Man.
I'm amazed he just ran a naked Marine straight into his base.
Yeah, that was bold. Maybe that Reaper would have made it in.
I'm not even upset. That's actually amazing.
All right, moving out. That main base vulnerable once again.
So he killed the Observer. His sim is getting there. I expect him to build a reactor with the factory and play like Biomine. Based on what he scouted, like Templar Archives, Charge Zealots, no Robo Bay, mines for days, man.
Yeah.
Widow mines are fantastic against the composition that Raze is playing. And here we go. 3 mines are going to drop. And the probes will not be able to run away. So 11 kills. And it looks like he's going to save 2 of the mines.
Very nice. Exactly what you want. Drop does get loaded up. That SCV spotted it. Okay, that's huge.
That's big.
It's going back, trying to see what it saw.
Now this could still be risky. Okay, he's going to get that command center out of there if you're going to hold the natural. The Prism is going towards the main, and he starts 2 bunkers.
Ooh, big warp in coming through as well. 7 more Zealots. Can he add it on?
I hate charge
That
lots.
Ghost Academy not going to be finishing anytime soon. No nukes for you. As this fight continues, 11 SCVs lost throughout all of this. The bio stimming down. The Zealots on the top of the ramp going absolutely bonkers.
That's the problem.
Cuts this off.
He's got enough to bust through the 2 tanks, but if he pulls everything up to the main to defend, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Bro, Mom! That's supposed to be why this build is good, is that your mines defensively are also going to get a lot more use and utility. There we go. Get that splash. Yeah. So now these Zealots are way easier to kill, but he's taken some pretty devastating damage.
He really has lost so many workers just then, down to 44. That income graph once again spiking in the red for Raze here.
44 is fine for 2 bases. But for 3, no, not even close to enough. So he's going to have to rebuild.
And now there's no way he's going to be able to afford a nuke this game. He runs the risk of disappointing us both for this series.
I'm sure he'll find a way to squeeze one in there, but you're right. You're right.
You're right.
I'm sorely disappointed.
Nukes find a way. As, yeah, no Jeff Goldblum here to give Vindicta the insight he needs.
You say Goldblum?
Goldblum?
Goldblum.
Wait, what? How's
I'm
that?
just messing with you. Nobody knows how to say it.
I was like, yeah, I don't understand.
Saying my name wrong is not a capital offense.
What an icon, that man.
A legend. I want a voice back of him in StarCraft.
That would be so sick.
You know,
That's
one of the benefits of like this StarCraft 2 is going to be around forever.
Mm-hmm.
That eventually we will get everybody in there.
You're right.
Over an infinite scaling time period, there's no reason why we couldn't eventually deepfake the voice of everybody as well.
You're absolutely
then we
right.
don't even need to ask them anymore.
Boom.
Because it won't even be them.
Exactly. It is an AI version of them.
Yeah. You get around the copyright. You just name the voice pack like dinosaur researcher, no name, and you just have it be an AI generated version of his voice.
Yes.
Then he can't sue us, you know, in 100 years.
Exactly. Genius. This is foolproof.
I figured it out, guys. I cracked the code. These Widow Mines really.
Yeah, not doing a lot.
Yeah.
Oh. My goodness.
Frankly speaking, Vindicta had his kneecap broken by the first Zealot drop because he's just spread very thin, and we're gonna hit the legendary +3 armor versus +1 attack.
Oh man.
Charge Zealot, and
it's gonna be a tickle fight with these Marines.
when you look up the word pain in the dictionary, it's a Protoss player with Guardian Shield and upgrade advantage versus Terran.
Yeah, he is moving forward. The EMP going wide as well. SCV is getting shredded here as Raze marches forward and looks to send Vindicta packing. The Archon at the front soaking up so much damage as these 4 Immortals waiting for just a second here.
It's +2 armor Zealots versus +1 attack Marines. Mines are fantastic, and I can see a world where he holds the natural because of those mines, basically.
The army supply is just about dead even here, just a 1 supply difference. No Warp Prism in position to go up in that main base, so...
Problem is his +2 attack, at best, times out with +3 armor, so he's going to be behind this upgrade forever.
Right.
He's just using the mines, and if he can kill those mines at any point, then he should be able to just kill him. But
Nice
he does defend. That's the benefit of also having those couple of ghosts mixed in. Is they're good versus the Zealots. He could snipe them if he wants. The EMPs are all right.
Yeah. That was a nice hold there in terms of keeping himself alive in the game from a technical standpoint. Down to 41 workers, though, on the backside of that. And that army supply coming already back close to even, and Thermal Lance is getting researched.
Thermal Lance. He's got it.
It is good.
He's researching Thermal Lance, so his Colossi are going to deal real damage this game. If he gets that far. He does still have his storms available, but look, Ghosts are going to be able to siege up this base with some mine support. That +3 armor Zealot lolling at this. There's a very small window now before +2 attack finishes. You can see
that
the Zealots don't die.
Yeah, no, they are.
Now with +2,
it literally looks like they're not taking damage from some of these shots. The storm goes down onto a lot of that bio up on the top right side. You're getting forced back. First medevac starts to fall. Now these mines very vulnerable, but no detection with this, actually. That's going to be very awkward indeed.
Yeah, that's a really good job. He tried to save that one ghost in the medevac. Did he save it? God, you know what? They did patch that because the Zealot swung once and the ghost got away.
Wow.
And I've seen, I forgot that they patched the ability for Zealots to kill stuff getting in transports.
Very nice.
Fantastic. So that ghost lives to fight another day. But Extended Thermal Lance is about to finish.
Indeed.
2 more Colossi are going to pop out soon. Number 3 is going to be a little faster than number 4, but this is a terrifying army. And Zealot counterattacks. I love to see it. This is what happens when a Protoss gets to warp in charge lots into your main.
Yep.
You just feel pain for the rest of your days. There's 2 mega Artosis pylons in this base.
There really are.
But
looking at jeez, eating it like it's breakfast.
That's why the gods saw fit to give him a spare. It's called a second robotics facility in the natural.
Studying that good old Dino DNA, getting himself set up nice and fast with those charge lots through the center of the map, and he's still just going to posture here. And army supply and worker count starting to get closer to even here. I mean, Vindicta is keeping himself alive.
This is the perfect way to be an annoying Terran. Is you're in a really hard spot. You can't take a head-to-head fight, so the only good move is to just try and stall and be annoying. You know, it's like you're the little brother, just like I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, and then you're just trying to make the Protoss really mad and screw up and make a mistake. and then they get a shoe thrown at them or something, or however it
yes,
works.
that is how it works. Yes.
But the mines are getting cleaned up, the drops are getting cleaned up, and more cannons have been added to reinforce some of these bases, and that is going to allow.
Raze's bank is absurd, by the way.
And Raze is going to attack at some point soon.
Yeah.
Have poked him enough. Is there a prism? I mean,
there
like,
hasn't
of
been a
all
prism.
the things you need to do to guarantee that the game will end when you attack, please, for the love of God, bring a prism. This is maybe the only way that Vindicta could win this, is if he attacks into a planetary with no reinforcements.
Yeah, he legitimately does not have a prism on the map right now. The Guardian Shield has gone up. The SCV is getting pulled to try and repair this. Going to lose quite a few. That planetary is now done and opening up directly into the middle of this army, but will not be enough. That one High Templar zoning the entire bio.
It's a good storm. He does.
Great storm as well.
It's a big chunk of it. The Colossi. Man, it's kind of fun to see them fight from behind the army.
Yeah, it's refreshing. As yeah, and Raze still no War Prism. The reinforcements are very slowly running across the map now from that third base location on the right, and will eventually be here. But you know, in that time, the Raptors are escaping. Vindicta
starts up a Stargate. He's not getting Liberators, my dude. He's broke. His main is mined out. His natural is almost there as well.
This is the main mining base right now. The majority of the income for Vindicta as the fight opens up. Great EMPs along the front lines with the High Templar waiting for their opportunity, and forward they come. GG. Raze gonna take the game and the series.
Raze eliminates Vindicta, and we'll move on to the decider match, where he will await the loser of our next series. But very well done. I mean, he dealt with everything really well. I like the idea of speed mine drop. It's fun.
It is.
It's a cool build. It gives you a great follow-up transition into using a lot of those Widow Mines. Tragically, the one phase where he needed those Widow Mines, when there were a bunch of Zealots in his main, they weren't there for him.
Right. Not there when he needed them.
That's what friends are supposed to be for, but not mines. Because
You're
mines
right.
will kill your own units too.
Yep.
They don't
are
care.
Fickle creatures, really.
Yeah.
And you know, proving the folly of putting your trust in machines, all you can trust is good old-fashioned manpower.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
Okay, Conan.
Get her done.
So with that being said, we're going to take another look at our matches coming up. We've got two more for you today, ladies and gentlemen. A Terran versus a Zerg is going to be our winner match. It will be Massa versus Jon Snow coming up after this break. We'll see you soon.